Do you have something, a cowl or something you could put on?
Let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
Master Soul, I thank you for choosing me for this mission. I should have brought Osha in myself. I apologize for my error.
Yord, put your clothes on.
Feels good, doesn't it? To hold one in your hand again.
Dick, 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 dick. How many dicks is that? A lot.
They're also depraved too, because like, isn't this supposed to be for families, for kids? And it's like, oh, you're just gonna have a line like, "Hey, you're not gonna come in and enjoy me. Can you at least, give me my clothes?"
I don't mind that really too much at all. It wasn't like it was gratuitous or anything like that. Especially when you're talking about a Sith who, one of the things that they do is they give into their passions. That's like 100% what Sith do, and that's a way that they would try to corrupt people as well. So I really don't mind them taking that angle.
Do you think that was their motivation behind it, Ryan? Really, to honor Star Wars lore with what they were doing?
I'm not saying they're honoring Star Wars lore, but I don't have a problem with this because I'm not a little fucking pansy, right? I don't that big of a problem with the idea. You saw the back of a shirtless man. My God, the fucking
when
horror.
You know their motivations, when you know their motivations behind it,
I don't have
and the intended audience for it too.
The problem is that it was so fucking poorly done, and she turns in like 15 seconds. And you can't tell me that this dude's got like a massive dick or something, so that can't possibly be.
Well, we can't even tell.
The whole thing was meant to be sexualized. Fuck all that. Disney doesn't understand Sith lore. They don't fucking get any of that. This was 100% sexually driven to push more of this bullshit into Star Wars. That's what it was for. Just like Yord taking his fucking shirt off for no fucking reason earlier in the series. What was the point of that?
Well, they love that.
What was the point of that? Was that some kind of hidden Jedi meaning, Ryan?
Well, I can't believe Luke Skywalker had his shirt off in Empire Strikes Back.
He was in a tank. He had to be. There was a story reason for that.
All I'm fucking saying is when you are looking at somebody who is a user of the dark side of the Force, this is part of the way that they would potentially try to manipulate somebody. And they even go further when they're talking about the relationship that she potentially may have had with Jackie, which is bullshit because they knew each other for all of 2 seconds. But I don't have an inherent problem with that. And the idea that it's depraved to show the back of someone's, like, to show someone's back.
It's not just that. It's everything that's implied in the entire scene,
and
too, though. Like, again, all those things. Why would any kids watching that? That's what I'm saying.
You're telling me how does it feel in your hand? Ooh,
you're telling me from a story standpoint that had the same story standpoint reasoning as Luke when he had his shirt off. You're telling me from a story standpoint, based on the motivations behind the people behind the story.
No,
you're telling me 100% no. Not even fucking close.
The idea to call this depraved is fucking wild to me.
I think.
Have you heard Leslye Headland talk?
Do I think that there are Disney Star Wars fans out there that are depraved and want to see a
Leslye Headland is one of them.
Star Wars? Yes, I do. But in terms of
there she is. Where's she looking at his job?
Where's she looking right now?
She's looking at his dick.
Well, yeah, she is.
The question is,
so the question is, like, I don't care if, like, I personally don't give a shit if men get objectified. Objectify us all the fuck we want. We don't give a fuck. It's the inconsistency, and then you make Amanda Stenberg fucking frumpy as hell, you know, and that's like
she got the shoulders.
It just doesn't do. Ryan's blessing is his curse right now. He knows way too much about Star Wars, and he's dealing with people that know nothing about it with the people that write the show. That's ultimately what it comes down to. You know way too much about it, and they know nothing about it.
She is still supposedly a good Jedi who is literally creeping on him, stalking him, and watching him undress. And like, well, he knew he was there. Yeah, but she didn't know that. She's she is the creepy one in that situation.
Well, here we go.
The Sith reaches the edge of the placid pool. He unslings his bag from his shoulder and unpacks it, while Osha observes from a hiding spot in the rocks. As he begins to untie a belted knot from around his waist, she straightens up for a better look. He begins to undress, revealing a prominent scar on his well-toned back. Dropping his billowy-legged hakama pants, he steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles. He wades barefoot into the pool. Keeping her predatory gaze on him, she lies in wait behind some rocks closer to the water's edge.
Oh,
He's playing it. Like,
is that the actual like audio description? Or
That's
did someone
audio
else?
description.
That's
on
the Disney Plus audio description.
Oh, gee, yeah, it's not depraved.
What?
very gaze.
You could not tell
love
me
this.
that wasn't written by a thirsty woman.
I'm
That was
suddenly very interested in
What?
Star
She's not
Wars.
thirsty. She's lesbian.
He's bisexual. Get it right.
I don't know. I perked up at that scene.
I hated that scene.
It's Raylo inspired fanfic. That's what it is. You have the plausible deniability of saying, yes, the Sith could definitely, that's something they would do. They would actually seduce, and that makes sense. And an adult Star Wars, it would make more sense in like Andor than Acolyte.
You literally had a story in the prequels about somebody who was trying to be a Jedi and trying to suppress these feelings that they had and were unable to do it and end up being seduced to a marriage with Padme and then eventually to the dark side.
For you Star Wars experts, is this Blue Lagoon moment,
which it is,
movie, does this fit Star Wars, honestly?
No, I don't think it does. Like, has something like this happened in Star Wars before? I'm not talking about romance. I'm talking about some guy stripping naked and flashing his dong at someone else to like seduce them to the dark side. Like, if it's in line with the Sith, has it happened?
I hope that water was warm.
Well, is it entertaining? Was anyone entertained by that scene at all? If not, why is it in there?
That's
like
what
whether it fits with the lore or not. It's
The
like,
weirdo Raylos were.
The thirsty female producers, that's who.
Yeah, I'm with Ryan. It's not that much. They didn't show his ass at all. They cut away. He walks into the water. It's not a big deal. It's cringe. That's the problem. It's very fucking cringe.
Well, it's also blatantly obvious.
The one half black guy's on your side, Ryan. Congrats. Go ahead.
Black people love Ryan.
It's blatantly obvious to just basically own the chuds and like this is now a female property because you had Leia in a bikini before. You're gonna get none of that now. Now we're just gonna throw this in there, and it reminds me of that meme. I think you shared it, Jeremy, where it's like Luke and Yoda, where Luke is like, okay, and Yoda's like, you will be. That's what that scene is. That's what that scene is.
My problem with the scene is that it's way too Sandra Bullock, Chatham Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Sorry, Channing Tatum. It's just a bit too much, isn't it? It's like I feel like it's a Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum kind of moment. It took me out of whatever garbage they actually assembled.
Well, the problem is if you were you even into it to begin with to be taken out of it, that would be the problem. No, I'm messing with you, but your point stands. Though your point stands.
The other issue too is that if the scene actually served the plot in some capacity, it might be necessary, but it's not, and that's basically this entire show.
It's memeable,
unnecessary.
It's just memeable. He's got a vagina.
That's what it's there for.
Yeah. Gary, your tweet was just gold where you said they write what they know. It's like, this guy, his strategy to try and recruit someone is to sexually assault them and flash his dong at them. It's like,
Well, Leslye Headland literally said seduction. In
the last interview, she says, I write what I know, in literally the last interview about this episode.
Well, she also mentioned the whole thing with Vader being seduced by the dark side, and she's like, "Oh, I want to write that in, but it actually have it be actual seduction."
Well, look at the hug that Saul gives May. It's way too long. It goes into creep territory.
But maybe
it's like Joe Biden.
Paul, it's a Disney hug where you have to keep hugging until the other person brings.
Is that why they needed an intimacy coordinator on set?
Oh yeah.
It got really creepy. I went, okay, this is what she knows a Harvey Weinstein grapple.
When you think about it that way, this person who's done pretty despicable things, who is offering you a lot of power in exchange for potentially doing something like that.
Yeah.
What I wish they would have actually delved into more, which would have been great if maybe we actually cared about Osha's character at all, is the idea that this is somebody, and they scraped the surface with like 2 sentences, but we've never learned any more than that. The idea that this is a person that does have feels like she really cares about people and isn't able to do the Jedi thing of kind of repressing that and not being able to get attached and being able to watch people go away, all these things. If we had actually delved into that more as to why this type of discussion or seduction to the dark side would work with her, then maybe it could be something that means something.
You know how you can tell this was written by a woman? Because he brought a change of fucking clothing.
He didn't even put his head underwater. His hair's like greasy as shit. He didn't even bother to do that.
So, I mean, he went with that dark outfit, and now he's got this nice little chinois thing.
You know, Leslye think that's really clever, though. She was on about that's how he's changing from dark to light, and that means he's moral grey. She literally talks about colorism and how it's really important. It's like, oh,
shut up.
A real dude would just throw on the same clothes he's had on for the last 3 days.
Yes.
And also the fact that Osha, right? She saw this guy murder 2 of her supposed friends. And she's not going to try and kill him. She's just going to stare there. It's like, well, you got a really big dong, so I'm going to hold back.
I'm press X to doubt on that, by the way. So, Asian Ezra Miller.
He's Filipino-Canadian.
Yep.
So chances of him having big dick, probably not great.
Well, it is very cold up here most of the time.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe. Joanna Shark Dick Man. Joanna Shark Dick Man. Joanna Shark Dick Man.